welcome. My name is Troy Dexter for Star Licks, and today we're going to learn 50 licks in a country style. And I'll explain each one and the techniques used in each one as we go along. But first we should tune up. Let's start with the high E string. Next, the B string. G string. D string, oops, excuse me, A string, and finally the low E string. Alright, we've got a lot to cover today, so let's get right into it. The first lick will be in the key of C, and it can be used for like an ending or a fill during a solo, that kind of thing, and it'll go kind of like this. Imagine, if you will, a tempo that's kind of a medium to fast 2-beat kind of a groove, like so. Alright, now here it is slow. A couple of things to note about this lick. There's a lot of ghost notes, which you'll find in a lot of the licks coming up. And that's achieved by sort of deadening an adjacent string. And something else that's in this lick that I'll be doing throughout this tape is just sort of, as I'm playing the lick, adjusting my fingering as I need to. Like notice on the G string, I'll alternate between my second and third finger. Now where I just played that, I'm going to now use my ring finger. Like so. Switch. Okay, here's lick number 2. This is going to fit over a C7th chord, and you can use it over the same kind of groove or whatever as the last lick. And here it goes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here it is slow. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is even slower. 1, 2, 3, and. Okay, here's lick number 3, and this is over a C7th or a C9th kind of chord, kind of bluesy. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here it is slowed down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. Okay, here it is slowed way down, and pay particular attention to the way I slide down on the D string with my ring finger. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's lick number 4, and this is in the key of G. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now here it is slowed way down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's lick number 5, and this lick has a straight eighth note feel, like to be played kind of over like a rock groove. Here we go. I'll count us in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here it is, slowed way down. I'll count us in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's lick number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here it is, slowed way down. 1, 2, 3, and. Now, a couple of things about this lick. I'm bending the string, the second note that I play, I'm bending it before I'm striking it. And then bringing it down. Same thing here. Then striking 2 strings. Here it is one more time. Here's lick number 7, and it fits over a D7 chord. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And slow. 1, 2, 3, and. Here's lick number 8, and it also fits over a D7th chord. Here it goes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's lick number 9, and this is over an A7th chord, and it would kind of fit into a Western swing category, and takes particular note of the interesting interval skips that it has. I'll count us in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here it is slowed down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. The last part of this lick is a little bit tricky. It has some pull-offs and hammer-ons. Check it out. Takes a little practice. Here it is again. Alright, here's lick number 10, and this is also over an A 7th chord. And it's real short, but pay attention to the triads that I'm using and outlining within the lick. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. I'll play it slow now. 1, 2, 3. Now what makes this lick kind of colorful is that I'm incorporating some triads. I'm outlining some triads within the A7 scale, which would be a D major scale. And I'll show you what that is. Now here I'm outlining an E minor chord, and then a B minor chord, and then ending it with just a little blues lick. Okay, here's lick number 11, and this is over an E chord, or an E 7th chord. Probably should be played with a straight 8th note rock feeling to it. And pay special attention that this lick starts on the and of 4. 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Here it is slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice I'm bending from the minor third to the major third with my first finger. It's a little tricky. Okay, here's lick number 12, and this is also over an E 7th chord, and it uses like parallel thirds on adjacent strings, so check it out. Also over a straight 8th note feeling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I've got some ghost notes in there. Now here it is slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm kind of plucking the strings with my right hand. Now this lick you could also swing too. Here it is fast with a swing feeling to it. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, here's lick number 13. It's the same kind of thing over an E 7th chord. This time we're going to use 6th intervals and playing on non-adjacent strings. And here we go. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. And slow down. 1, 2, ready, and. Can also be played in a swing feel. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that works great going to like a 4 chord if you're in the key of E and you're going to an A chord. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Those kinds of licks using the descending 6th like that. Great idea to know those in every single key, and try them on different sets of strings as well. Very handy. Okay, for this next lick, we're going to change gears a little bit and incorporate a little rhythm and blues flavor. I'm going to switch to my neck pickup to give it a little different tone, and again we're going to be using kind of playing 2 strings at once. This is in the key of D, kind of a straight 8th note rhythm and blues sort of feeling, but very widely used in country music as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. here it is a little bit slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Notice on that lick I'm kind of outlining triads once again. An E minor to a D. Up here was a G to a D. A little harder for me to play at such a slow tempo, but I'll try it one more time slow for you. 2, 3, 4, 1. Notice that E minor triad to a D triad with the third in the bottom. Here's lick number 15. It's also kind of in a rhythm and blues style, and I get to take advantage of some open strings on this one, and notice how I'm kind of using a gentle raking technique as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is a little bit slower. 2, 3, 4. Alright, here's a more traditional country lick. It's kind of up-tempo and a straight eighth note rock feeling. Here it goes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. On this lick, I'm playing the two notes together and then bending, so it takes a little practice. And this particular one will work with a half-step bend too, but up here you need a whole step bend. Here's a lick that fits over a G7th chord, and it's kind of a swing kind of a lick, and it takes advantage of some open strings. It sounds kind of cool. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And here it is slow. Alright, this is lick number 18, and this one fits over like an E ninth chord. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And slow down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. This lick can also be played, instead of picking the notes like so, you can pluck them with your fingers, and it gives it a different sound as well, like so. Alright, here's lick number 19, and this is a pretty standard country kind of lick, and it fits over a measure of D, a measure of G, and 2 measures of D. Alright, here we go. 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Definitely plucking the strings with my pick and my fingers. And here it is slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Notice this half step bend here with my forefinger. And then these are full step bends. Very important to keep the top note in tune. These kind of licks will not work as well if you have any kind of tremolo system on your guitar. It's a little more difficult. They typically work better on a hard tail piece. Alright, here's a lick in the key of D that kind of would be used for like a country ballad kind of an intro or some fill material, that kind of thing. Here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now on this lick I'm also picking as well as pulling off the strings with my right fingers. I'm also not playing the notes at the same time, which gives it a little flavor as well. Here it is one time slow. 3, 4. And up to speed. 3, 4. Okay, here's lick number 21. I've switched guitars because this next series of licks are going to be kind of like volume pedal licks, kind of like a steel guitar. And it's better to use a guitar that has a little higher output pickup, like a double coil humbucker or something like that. And this particular lick is in the key of C, but it would be like if the song started on an F. So like a C to an F chord. 1, a 2, a 1. And as you can see, I'm using the volume pedal to kind of shave off the initial attack of each note to make it more pedal steel-like. 3, 4, 1. Alright, this next lick is also in the key of C, and it's excellent for ending a song that's in 3/4 time, like a country waltz. And I'll count us into it. Now, this lick uses false harmonics, so pay attention to my right hand as well. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 3. Here's a little tip on how to do the false harmonics. I'm holding the pick between my thumb and second finger of my right hand, and I'm lightly placing my forefinger over the string an octave above this stuff here. And that time I didn't use the volume pedal, so it sounds good without it as well. Okay, here's lick number 23, and this is kind of a pedal steel lick in the key of C. Works great for an intro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It incorporates kind of a difficult bend with the forefinger pulling away from you rather than bending this way. And it has to be bent up a whole step. Here it is slow. 3, 4, 1. And the trick to this lick is to try to let each string ring as long as you possibly can. And that lick's harder to play in some keys than others, but try it in different keys and find your way. Okay, here's lick number 24, and this has a swing feel to it, and what this is going to use is some parallel sixths and parallel thirds. So I'll be playing 2 strings at once. And what it does is it starts on a C chord, but then leads to an F chord, to a G chord, and then back to a C chord. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is a little bit slower. Now notice the double bend right here. 2, 3, 4. I'm also using the volume pedal again to shave off some of the attack to make it sound more like a pedal steel. 1, 2, ready, and... Here's lick number 25. This is also a pedal steel kind of a lick that goes through some chord changes. And imagine, if you will, a bar of G to a bar of G7 to a bar of C to a bar of C minor, and then back to G. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try it a little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, I'm using the volume pedal on this and kind of raking across the 2 strings. Here's lick number 26, and this is really simple. It's just outlining the chords, going from a G to an A and then to a D chord with these shapes. But what I'm doing is volume pedaling sets of adjacent strings. And here it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. With a little chromatic lick at the end. Here it is slow. 2, 3, 4. Here's lick number 27, and this is going to be in a minor key for a change, and it's the same kind of thing that we used on the last lick. But the chord progression will be E minor to A minor to B7 to E minor again. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And except for the very end, I'm playing just parallel thirds again. And the very end, playing sixth intervals, which are just thirds inverted. Then a harmonic. So here it is once again, maybe a little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's lick number 28, and it goes from a G chord to a C chord and back to a G, and it's an excellent lick for like an intro or an ending. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice I'm going from the third of a G triad to the suspended fourth. Here it is a little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. And once again up to speed. 3, 4. Alright, here's just a one measure lick. This is number 29, and it works on a G sixth chord or an E minor chord. So like this, or this kind of chord. And here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. And slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, on this one, notice, again, I'm bending the note before I strike it on the second note of the lick. And I'm trying to let each string ring as long as it can. Kind of creates a cascade or like a harp effect. Okay, here's lick number 30, also kind of a pedal steel sort of lick, and this is excellent for an ending of a song, and this will be in the key of C. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that one I'm only volume pedaling selected notes out of it. Here it is a little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. And once again up to tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now some people prefer to play this last lick like this, where they bar the two strings, the two highest strings with their pinky. Either way is good, but just take some practice keeping it in tune. But it's a real classic, versatile country lick. Okay, here's lick number 31, and this goes over an A seventh kind of a chord. And the next series of licks will be utilizing the lower register of the guitar and playing some vamps and bass lines and that kind of stuff. So check it out. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is basically the same thing, just twice. And here it is slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice I'm getting kind of a rolling effect. Kind of playing a ghost note in between each of the regular notes. And here it is fast again. 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's lick number 32, and this is on like a G or a G7 kind of a chord. And it starts with a little riff, and then it leads you into kind of a vamp type of thing. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here it is a little bit slower. 2, 3, 4. And again, it's important to let the strings ring as long as you can. And here it is once again up to tempo. Okay, here's lick number 33, and this is on an E7 chord, and it's the same kind of thing where there's a little bit of a lick, and then it leads you into kind of a vamp. This would be kind of James Burton-esque. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here it is slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, I'm kind of slapping the strings, grabbing them and pulling them, and 2, 3, 4. All right, here's lick number 34, and this is in the key of G, like a G7 kind of a thing, and it's like a fast bluegrass kind of lick. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, try to let the strings ring as long as you possibly can, and here it is slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. that type of lick works really well to end a song with. Also might add, that's an excellent acoustic guitar lick as well if you get into like a bluegrass kind of situation. All right. Okay, here's lick number 35, and this is really nothing more than just setting up a vamp or a rhythm track in the key of A. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, I'm getting kind of a rolling pattern happening with my pick and my fingers. Here it is slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's lick number 36, and it does 1, 4, 5 progression in the key of E. In other words, E, A, and B, and then back to E. And a lot of country songs kind of have the guitar playing the bass line, or a bass line, along with the bass line, or maybe a left-hand piano, something like that. And this is an example of something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Little bebop lick at the end there. Here it is a little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. So your pinky and your ring finger get a bit of a workout. Here it is a little faster. Alright, here's lick number 37, and this one sets up kind of a rock and roll country vamp in the key of D. And here it goes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now here it is slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So again, I'm kind of plucking the strings and kind of slapping them. And when you do this lick here, again, let all the strings ring. Okay, here's lick number 38, and this one utilizes kind of like a banjo technique, where you get kind of some rolling with your fingers, like so. And here's the lick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is a little bit slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's a lot lot of fun if you can work it up to speed. And you can also use it on things like going from an F, like an F with an added 9, to a C. Here's lick number 39, also in the key of G, and it is also kind of a banjo riff and works kind of good over a G7 type of a change. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here it is a little bit slower. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's lick number 40, and this one goes from an E chord to an A chord to a B chord and back to an E chord, okay? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Takes a little practice getting the bends in tune, but here it is a little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's kind of lick that's sort of meant to be played fast. As much as you can let those strings ring together. Okay, here's lick number 41. It goes on a C7th chord, and it takes its notes from the C blues scale. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just real quickly doing a bend from the flat 5, and then I'm keeping that note bent with my forefinger. That's the trick to that lick. Here's number 42, and this is kind of a ballad in the key of E, like E, A to E, that type of thing. And the thing about this lick is that it uses some non-adjacent strings, so check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is one more time. 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's lick number 43, and this one will be done like in a straight 8th note rock pattern, and it's an excellent idea for like the intro to a song that's in the key of G, but it starts on D7. So check it out. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is at a slower tempo, and notice the moving triads that I'm using in the very beginning against the D7th chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Here's lick number 44, and it works good like if you're soloing in the key of A. It kind of goes over an A 7th chord. And 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And a bit slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. The only tricky part about that lick is the triplet there in the middle. Which is done by hammering. Okay, here's a lick that goes over like a 1-4-5 progression in the key of G, and some of this technique you've seen a little bit earlier in the tape. Here it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just a bit slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. The only thing that requires any technique on that lick is just the bending while keeping this note the same, bending the B to the C. Same thing on the C chord. And etc. Alright, this is lick number 46, and it's just really nothing more than an exercise in taking a G triad, or a triad of this shape here, and bending the 5th to the 6th. And we'll do it on a 1-4-5 kind of progression. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here it is, a little bit slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, it's just bending that bottom note of the triad up a whole step and getting that in tune. And then of course the end of the lick just does one of these things with the 6th intervals. Real common country ending too. Alright, here's lick number 47, and this kind of is a solo fill kind of a thing over a D 7th chord. 1, 2, 3, and... I'll play it slow, and notice how few notes I'm actually using the pick on. It's mostly plucking with my right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's lick number 48, and we're going to change gears again. This is going to have kind of a New Orleans feel to it. I'm going to use my neck pickup for just a little different color, and here's what it's going to sound like. 1, 2, 3. just kind of setting up a vamp, playing through regular blues changes, C7, F7, G7. The way I'm getting into each one is like this, like a half-step slide. I'll play it slow, the whole thing. 1, 2, 3. Alright, here's lick number 49. And this one's in the key of A, but it starts off like you're starting on an E7 to a D7 to an A chord. And it's kind of Albert Lee-ish. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now here it is at a little slower tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And again, if you can really slap and spank the strings, the better this one's going to sound. And the only real technique in this lick is here. That kind of double pull off there. And an A triad right there. Alright, here's number 50, the final lick, and this is in the key of G, and it's kind of over a straight 8th note rock progression, and here it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, let's run through that a little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, there's a lot of pulling off with my second and third finger of the right hand. And the more I can slap it and harder I can pull it, the better and greasier it's going to sound. It takes a little practice getting those bends in tune, but with time, it comes. Well, that's it, and thanks a lot for watching. And I hope I've given you some additional aces to keep up your sleeve. And some of the licks and techniques that I use in this tape take a while to really refine and master. So be patient with yourself and just practice them over and over, and good luck in your country guitar endeavors.